So you just started playing DBD and you see the 2v8 game mode and go for it. You ready up and figure you'll just read up on perks and roles while you're in queue. But unlike the killer side, you don't have 30 to 40 minutes to read and think about your life choices. You scramble, throwing yourself into whatever role looks prettiest. Before you know it, there's screaming, cages popping up everywhere, gens exploding, wraith players whose personalities match their internet connectivity, and you don't know what to do. In a panic, you alt-tab out, and here you are, hiding in a locker listening to my sultry voice. Don't you worry. We'll get through this and I'll handle the reading. Now, the roles are kind of similar to when you're playing DBD competitively. Each player has a designated job, and the perks you have in your arsenal make it extremely beneficial to everyone if you do your specific job. Obviously, if Huntress has your medic in a headlock and you hear a lot of ooh-wooing in the distance, then you might have to step up and take care of an injured comrade. But for the most part, if you do your role, it's going to be best for the team. So first off, all roles have an unlockable fourth perk. It's the exact same across the board. It's unlocked after you've been caged twice, or if you've been playing Jonathan and you've been left to stage 2 by all 7 other survivors. At this point, you now have access to self-care, so you can heal yourself, and if you're slugged, then you can recover and pick yourself up and get out of there. If you're trying to pick yourself up from the ground, you do have to recover at least 25% of the way, so you can't have a buddy just 99 you and walk away while you recover for 1%. Once you get up, you have endurance for 20 seconds to take another hit, and 10% haste. Let's go ahead and start with the most self-explanatory class, the medic. Your first skill is that when you are healing another survivor, then other survivors on the map can see it, and any survivors within 3 meters of you get a 25% bonus to healing. If you're in chase, it doesn't work, so you can't do a drive-by heal boost. Your second skill lets you see all injured survivors within 128 meters. Finally, your other skill is an increased healing speed of 35%. So if you are literally any other class besides medic and 2 of you are healing another survivor and the medic arrives, go do a gen and let the medic do their job. Bonus points for playing medic is Adam with your white coat on. Next, let's look at the escapist. This is essentially a class for loopers. If you intend to teabag both killers and still plan to try and escape with your ass intact, then this is the class for you. Your first skill will let all other survivors within 12 meters gain a 150% haste for 3 seconds when you start sprinting with a cooldown of 20 seconds. Essentially, this perk is guaranteeing that if you're about to start burning out some retinas and there's a flock of productive survivors in the area, they're given the opportunity to get out of the line of fire. This is also an extremely good perk for getting an injured survivor out at endgame collapse. If someone is running with the killer hot on their cheeks and you have this perk off cooldown, you can literally just walk up to them, start sprinting, and give them the boost they need to make it to the door and help you position yourself behind them to take a hit. The next perk gives you a beefed up version of Windows of Opportunity. You can see the R's of pallets, windows, and breakable walls within 32 meters to help you loop more efficiently. The last perk gives you a 3% haste when you get injured, so you can get every last bit of juice out of your looping. The next class is the Guide. This is the Gen Jockey role, so if you take this role, you had better be dry humping those gens unless there is an emergency that needs you to peel yourself away from it. Your first perk reveals you and your generator's aura to the rest of the team while you're repairing it. If the jockeys aren't on their gens, then the rest of the team will waste valuable time opening boxes, cleansing useless totems, and running around looking for their next objective. Your next perk reveals the auras of gens within 16 meters. So if someone walks up to you and sees your gen is full, if there's a gen within 16 meters, you can point them in the direction of the next objective. Your last perk gives survivors within 8 meters an additional 3% bonus for great skill checks and lowers repair noise by 50%. Now you can't act like a Dwight and sit in a locker and still give this benefit. You either need to be participating or supervising from a reasonable distance. Seriously, always be on a gen unless the game is actively on fire. The final class is the Scout. This is built like a hide and seek class, but essentially your job is to spot the killer so your jockeys and medics can preemptively GTFO and let the escapist know where a killer who still has an ounce of self-esteem left can be located so the situation can be rectified. At the end of the day, you will fill in wherever you're needed. Your first perk lights the killer's aura up like a Christmas tree for your team whenever you spot them within 64 meters. The next perk is essentially a beefy version of Alert, where the auras of both killers are revealed whenever they break pallets, gens, or walls. Your final perk is a chonky urban evasion mixed with Iron Will. When you lowride, your speed is faster than your usual crouching walk, and your grunts of pain are reduced when you squat walk. This is not a class for Leons. We need that volume for inspiration. Anyway, some scouts camp on a hill and watch chases so that the person in chase knows if the killer is moonwalking or what angle they are approaching a loop. This also lets the gen jockeys know that they can crank up their repair entire playlist on Spotify, and the medics know the best route to take to pick up their fallen comrade. One of the best things you can do at endgame is if there is a survivor in chase, locate them so that the entire team knows the location. This will help organize a full team rescue operation where you all descend from the heavens with beamers to the target and get your duckling through the gate safely. Finally, a quick heads up, sometimes when you swap to a different character, your role might switch, so always double check your role if you swap to someone else. Also, if you play Zarina and wear the skirt, that skirt will disappear upon hook. Just an FYI. I'm not saying you should have an entire 8-man squad of skirt Zarinas begging to be caged because of a bug. I'm just saying that it happens. Good luck out there, kids.